Hey, what's going on, good people? Welcome to Movies That Move We. We are going to be talking about what today?
Fatherhood.
Fatherhood, the movie starring Kevin Hart, which is featured on Netflix currently at the time of this recording. So, my name is Don, and
And I'm
that's
Nicole.
Nikkei.
Okay.
All right, not Nike, but Nikkei, and we discuss black film. We love to talk about films with strong black characters, but mainly black films. So, Fatherhood is the latest and the greatest of that bunch. I just watched it on Father's Day. We thought about reviewing it on Father's or on our show that we were going to do on Father's Day. However, it really didn't give people enough time to watch it, and we like to give folks about at least a week after something is out, so that they'll have a chance to check it out. So, Fatherhood with Kevin Hart. Now, Nikkei, I'm gonna tell you something that's funny. So I know that we joke, I joke definitely, and I always say that the movies, well, no joke, the movies that we review on here are typically movies that we really have a fondness for.
Mhm.
So generally speaking, we're not gonna have a movie on here that we just slam from top to bottom. That in mind, there are a few movies that I've said that I just have no desire to see, and if I have seen them, definitely no desire to review them or discuss them because I don't want to just be given negative, vibes or whatever like that. Well, Kevin Hart's very first movie is that film, is one of those films that I've name checked and said that I have no desire to talk about on this show, as far as doing a whole show for. I will mention it in this broadcast, of course. And what movie would that be, Nikkei?
Soul Plane.
Oh, the funny thing is this. I just saw a review, and it's a comical review. I watched several movie review channels on YouTube, and one of them, and this one's a delight. It's not my favorite, but it's not. It's definitely in the top three. I love Chris Stuckman.
Mhm.
I love. Oh my goodness, it's actually it's slipping my mind right now. Double Toasted is
Mhm.
probably my favorite. I love the Michaud Mission,
Mhm.
and I love Prim's Hood Cinema. Prim's Hood Cinema is all about kind of they poke fun, or he pokes fun. His name is Prim. Prim
Mhm.
pokes fun at a lot of these movies, particularly if they're really ghetto. So stuff like Friday,
Mhm.
he'll talk about, and he'll joke about them and stuff like that. And I just so happened today to be skimming through YouTube, and I ran into his review of Soul Plane, and of course he ripped that movie up. But I'm mentioning that to say that Kevin Hart has come a long way.
Mhm.
All right, he's now a household name. You don't have to sit there and scratch your head and wonder, like, the guy who says I'm 5'4" and no more. Who is he? Whatever like that. Because now Kevin Hart is everywhere, and there may even be a little bit of is that saturation, maybe bordering on some oversaturation. So this movie, which is a drama movie, which has little bits of comedy in it, but this movie, which is primarily a drama movie, is really a refreshing change. Now, it's not the first drama that he's been in.
Right.
He was in another one with Bryan Cranston. I can't remember the name of it. Uh,
Untouchables.
is that was that the name of it?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So he was in that. I don't know what kind of reviews it got because I was actually away when that one came out, so I have not
Mhm.
seen that one. But Fatherhood is really a good film. I really appreciated what he brought to the movie. So,
Mhm.
Nicole, what did you think about Fatherhood?
Um, I loved it.
Okay.
I loved it. I think I didn't see Untouchables. And
Okay.
when that came out, um, I remember some of the reviews, people who were used to him as a comedian were like,
Yes.
Kevin Hart in a serious role, whatever.
Right. Right.
And then when the movie came out, people were like, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
The serious critics were like, wait a minute, he really
Yeah.
delivered
Yeah.
in this. And then the flip side of the remarks were like, okay, here we have another black man being a savior. Okay.
Yes. Yes. And I can see where they got, because I did see the preview, so I
Right.
can see where they would come up with that from. Okay.
And that was another movie that was based on a true story.
Okay.
And just as a point of reference, because you and I are also watching Lupin,
Yes.
also on
I
Netflix.
need to continue that.
Oh my gosh, get
That
into that.
is a great. It's better than what I thought it was going to be. And I
Yes.
thought I'd be hindered by the subtitles, but then the K informed me. My partner informed me that it's available with the dubbing. And it's not that I'm opposed to looking at something with subtitles. It's just that when you watch something with subtitles, you have to be sitting still. So there's
Yes.
no getting up, going to go grab something
Right.
from the
You got to
fridge,
really
or
focus.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I bring that up
Hmm.
because what is his name? Omar Sy,
Yes.
the guy that's playing Lupin.
Hmm.
He was in the original Untouchables.
Okay.
So when it was made in the English version, Kevin Hart played his role. That's why I'm
Okay.
bringing all of that up.
All right.
But
All right.
anyhow, people were pleasantly surprised by him playing the serious role back then. So this
Okay.
is him doing it again, and he plays
And
again
he's the
a
star
true
this time.
story.
Yeah.
A
Okay.
true story. So when I was watching it, having that on the sticky side of my brain,
Yes.
I was like, okay, he did it once. I'm expecting him to do it again. And
Hmm.
and he played the role well. And for him to walk in
Hmm.
the opening scenes,
Hmm.
very emotional opening scenes,
Okay. Yep.
hit
Definitely.
hard.
Kind of like Up.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like
Yep.
Up for the Disney
Disney
animated
Pixar's
or
Up.
Disney Pixar movie. Yeah.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
hit right here because I got it from the very opening scenes. I got it. It's like you
Yes.
just lose your wife. The only thing you have left behind is this itty bitty, very dependent representation of you and her.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you don't know what comes next. And you have all these people in your face, in your ear,
Hmm.
at the wake telling you what you got to do next.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like
I can imagine that.
you don't want you just want all that noise to stop.
Oh yeah.
And when he
For sure.
walked up to his mother-in-law and said, "Give me my child, please," and walked outside and started talking to her, I was like,
Did the feels hit you?
that was real.
Did you get hit in the field? True.
Yes.
True.
Because that was so
True. True. True.
real.
Okay. Okay.
That was absolutely real.
All right.
And at the time while watching it,
Hmm.
I didn't know it was a real story.
Hmm.
And B, I did not know that this was not based on a black man's life.
Oh wow.
It was based on a white man's life.
Wow.
And so what that tells you is how universal this thing
It's very universal,
has
very
happened.
relatable across the board. Yeah.
Right. This
Yeah.
has happened to so many
Yes.
people.
Yes.
And so it makes it even more relatable, like you
Hmm.
said,
Hmm.
because watching the reactions from people within our group and just
Yes.
in general on social media, people who
Hmm.
have watched it who are going, oh my God, you got to see this.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just across the spectrum, people are moved by this story.
Yeah.
So
It's a universal story.
yeah.
And the thing is this, it's not that I'm opposed to black movies that are specific to us. There's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with that. I like that. And that's great sometimes. However, I also like when something is relatable to everyone. It's universal. Love is universal.
Right.
Frustration is universal. Um, Being a parent is a universal type
Right.
thing. So it's something that many people in society, not everybody is a parent, but a lot of people are parents. A lot of people have godchildren. Lord knows I have quite a few
Right.
nieces, nephews, a baby that you've watched and you cannot relate because a child's primary way of communicating, infant's primary way of communicating is to cry. They don't know anything else. That's instinctive, and they, well, the instinct they're born with is the suckling instinct. But to cry out and get a reaction out of you to get your attention is how they communicate, and it can be frustrating because it's funny. I have two grandchildren who live near me.
Right.
So my grandson is 5. He can talk now. He can express now what it is that's on his mind. However, his sister is my granddaughter. She is an infant. So she fusses and cries because she cannot speak and say what it is that she wants or what have you. And that can be frustrating. Now, of course, I mean, I'm kind of like an old salt in the game. I've got 4 children, and I think I've mentioned that before. I've got a grip of little cousins, nieces, nephews, adopted children. I've got god babies coming out the yin yang. Matter of fact, I had a godchild who was born while I was gone. My granddaughter was born while I was gone, and they're 2 months apart. So I got a chance to meet her, my god baby, my latest edition. I got a chance to meet her on Saturday, which was just a few days ago. But I got a chance to meet her, and I picked her up, and of course, her first reaction was, she had just woken up from a nap, and
What kind of look did she give you?
yeah, she started to fret, and Dad started patting me on the shoulder. This is Uncle Don,
Yeah.
and of course, I mean, you see some big bearded, brown skinned brother come up to you, and in her case, that godchild is actually white. I've got godchildren every stripe, and so she's probably not been that close to a brother before. And I'm bigger than her dad. My voice is deeper than her dad's, stuff like that.
All that rumbling.
All that rumbling. And it can probably be very intimidating.
Yeah.
And plus, I'm probably too much to take for most ladies anyway. And
I'm waiting for the hook to come out and snatch you off the camera. That's what I'm waiting for.
Oh, man. it will. Some lightning's going to come down. Just kidding. But no, I love kids. But kids, they cry. Now, funny thing is this: before my visit was over, she's crawling over to me and climbing in my lap and letting me hold her and stuff like that. So kids eventually will warm up. But there's a time, especially if you have to have them for a day or two, or they're yours, or they live with you, or what have you. Then there is a frustration because it's day in, day out. They keep you up all night, stuff like that. Because babies don't give a damn about you got to get up early in the morning. What? Yeah, they don't care about
you belong to me, and I'm gonna do what I want.
Babies are completely selfish, as well they should be. As well they should be, because it is all about them. It is all about them. My grandson was a baby. It was the same thing. I would be up late with him, get up, make a bottle and stuff, all that stuff, man.
And it doesn't stop when they get out of the toddler age. It goes on through the teenage years.
Yeah, it gets worse.
Well, into adulthood.
It gets worse in the teenage years. Yeah, but I'll tell you this: being a dad is probably one of the most rewarding experiences I've ever had, and that's just being straight up. Now, of course, when you are raising your children, it's not all that fun while it's going on. It's something that in retrospect, you get a chance to look back on and say, wow, my daughter will pass me one of the kids or whatever, or my wife will pass us one of the children or, whatever. And she's amazed, particularly with my grandson when he was coming up, because that was her first child.
Mhm.
She was amazed at how easy it looked, but the experience that we had to be able to deal with him, to
Mhm.
he's pooped on himself, and you pull the pamper back, and then he got a little something for you extra, a little, hope springs eternal, and that ain't all that's eternal, so he's got a little extra something for you, and you got to be ready for that stuff.
Yeah.
And then just how, I'm like, give him here, let me have him, and I put him straight to sleep. Like 3 to 5 minutes later, he is knocked smooth out as if I didn't gave him a right cross. And I've done no such a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it comes with the experience. But that is something that you kind of have to be in it to win it. It's not fun while it's going on, but it is so rewarding. And eventually your life begins to morph. If you're a father or a parent that really cares, your life begins to morph around the needs of your child or children,
Mhm.
or whatever like that. And it becomes all about them. You come to find out you don't go certain places because of this, or I was planning on going somewhere on that day,
Oh my
but I
God.
got to watch Junebug and the Good Time Gang or whatever,
What you're saying brings something to mind.
Uh-huh.
I've told you about my dad.
Yes, you have.
Now, I don't have very many pictures online because my dad is like, don't put me online. He really does talk that deeply. Don't put me
Yeah,
online.
I'm sure.
But he my dad is a big guy,
Hmm. Hmm.
okay? And you would think that he is like rough, tumble,
Hmm.
but he's a gentle soul.
Hmm. Hmm.
And you and I touched on this a little bit last
Hmm.
week,
Hmm.
from the time that we're recording this,
Yes.
about on Tyler Perry's um, Daddy's Little Girls,
Yes.
about nurturing.
Yes. Yes.
You would think that he would be, just to look at him, kind of the
Hmm.
aloof type.
Hmm.
Oh my God, no. Oh my
Hmm.
gosh, he was the nitpicky parent.
Wow.
We, we could do nothing. I remember being about 4 years old, and my
Hmm.
parents always used to have like house parties.
Hmm.
And it was no big deal for us kids to be running through between under people's feet and
Of
stuff like
course.
that.
Of
And,
course.
you know, everybody was auntie this, uncle that.
Of
It was
course.
no
Yeah.
big deal.
Yeah. Or at the least, Miss and Mister. Yep.
Right.
At the least. But
Hey,
usually
look,
it's uncle. Because if they over the house, it's uncle. And they can whoop your butt. And they can put you in the
Jamaican,
corner. They
Jamaican
can
background.
also scoop you up and
Right.
take you to their house when they see that mom and dad
Exactly.
need a break. Yeah. And I've had
So,
aunties and uncles who've done that.
Jamaican background, everybody, including your own
Jamaican.
cousins, was auntie and uncle.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
So
Yes.
at this particular party, the alcohol was flowing. It was no big deal. So
Okay.
my dad was sitting on the couch and he was
Hmm.
having a beer, and I was like,
A
"What's
red
that
stripe.
you drinking?" No, it wasn't a red stripe.
On
I
a
think,
red stripe.
was it a
Okay.
Budweiser? I think it was a Budweiser.
Okay. Okay.
Anyway, I was like, "Dad, what's that you're drinking?" He was like, "It's a beer. You
Oh man, I got a
can't have
story about beer, but go ahead.
He was like, "You can't have this." I was like, "I want to taste it." He was like, "No, you can't have it. Get out of here." I was like, "But I want to taste it." And everyone was laughing. They were like, "Oh, you got to give her a taste." And he was like, "Oh my God, no." And I'm sitting there about to have a full meltdown. So he let me have a taste.
Oh wow.
He let me have a taste. And I was like, "That's nasty. Why are you
Yeah,
drinking?"
exactly. And to this day, you probably don't like it.
Sure don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure don't. But guess what?
What's up?
That was also the last time he had a drink,
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. I can
because
see that. I can understand that.
he was like, "I'm drinking in front of my daughter."
Yeah. Yeah.
And she demanded a drink, and
Hmm.
he went all the way there. He was like, "It means she's going to be an alcoholic. I can't have that."
Wow. Yeah. We can't have that. We
It,
cannot have that.
and that was him. Cereal. breakfast cereal.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. Frugal.
We would try and
Oh
eat
man.
and have our breakfast cereal before he came in the room,
Uh-huh.
because we would have like a mounded spoon of sugar to
Mm-hmm.
put on our
You would
cereal.
level that thing off.
He would come in with his finger and level that bad
Mm-hmm.
boy
Yeah.
off. And we couldn't have 3 teaspoons because cornflakes to him was already too
Already
sweet.
sweet. Yeah.
He was the label reader before label reading
Mm-hmm.
was
Yeah,
popular.
maltodextrose.
Oh
That
my
sugar.
God. Oh my God. It was torment eating
Yeah,
around.
man. Yeah.
I could tell more stories, but when you start talking about the nurturing aspect, what
Yes.
nurturing looks like,
Yes.
you know, that's how my dad did it. I mean, he was reading labels and he was
Mm-hmm.
running into the room as you were eating, like, don't put that in your mouth, you will surely die.
Oh,
That's the parent that he was. But in this movie, you saw Kevin Hart was automatically shifted, and people hate this phrase when they hear mothers say it,
mm-hmm.
single moms say it, but he was automatically shifted into the I am the mother and the father
Yeah.
role. And
Yeah.
at a certain part, his mom had to say, "You're a good mom."
Yeah. She did. She
He,
surely did.
you know.
She surely did.
And
Now,
can we talk about Alfre Woodard?
yeah, I love Alfre Woodard. We just mentioned her in our last
Mm-hmm.
show too, because we were talking about Tyler Perry movies
Mm-hmm.
and The Family That Prays, which I think may be probably
That's
his
one of his
best,
best.
probably one of his best,
Mm-hmm.
if not the best. And she and Kathy Bates, I mentioned about how these two legends are playing off of each other, and they're doing the damn thing.
Yeah.
Alfre Woodard has never come to play. Now, she's come to play a part,
Right.
but she's never come to play. I always remember her, and there's so many movies that Alfre Woodard is in, but I'll always remember her in Love and Basketball, something else that we need to review.
Yes.
And that part, you know, how she's really prissy and stuff. And Sanaa Lathan's character, Monica, said something, and waiting for you to iron his dirty drawers or something like that. And she hauled off.
Yes.
Pow! Right across.
Like Mama in a minute.
She's like, damn it, Monica. And it's funny because her character wasn't a character that cursed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she didn't use profanity and stuff like that. So to take her there and to even make her come out of that prissiness or what have you, man, look, serious biz. But you know what? I love her character. I always loved Alfre Woodard. And in this movie, I loved her too. Her role was a bit more subdued. Now, of course, you know, she's kind of like the pushy mother-in-law and stuff like that.
No,
but,
I wouldn't call that subdued.
But okay, yeah. But I will say this: mothers-in-law, because they are not your mother, it takes some getting used to. Because when you bind two families together, there's more than like things just coming together gracefully. Sometimes, and some of that stuff doesn't get resolved. However. Eventually they came to a peace with each other, which I thought was really, really great. Yeah. Because that's really how it works. And really and truly, she had some really good points. It's not about you anymore. It's about my granddaughter. It's about your daughter. And that's real talk. So was she a bit too much? Yeah, she was a bit. And Mike, the Mike character, he was like, just leave it alone. Just leave it alone.
Oh, her husband was hilarious.
Yeah, listen, Frankie Faison, yes.
He came just shy of saying, look, you can keep her. I'm going to go back home and have some peace.
Yeah, man.
Because, man. He's like, I could take her and leave her.
Yeah. But
he had a small role, but
he did.
For those few lines that he had, he played it big.
and he's another one who's done some heavy lifting. Yeah. And Frankie Faison, for people who don't know, a lot of people remember him from The Wire. And it's funny because he was Coconut Sid in Do the Right Thing, which I just watched the other day. Another awesome movie that we need to review. A Spike Lee movie.
A sitcom he had back in the
80s. It was called True Colors.
Was
It's
he
called
playing a single dad?
he was a widower who had gotten remarried. So he had two sons. One's name was Jarvis. I remember that for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And he had two sons, and he married a white woman who had a daughter. And it was, I want to say it was when Fox was really becoming popular. I think it may have been when Fox was really getting their lineup, because what a lot of stations will do to get that street cred, they will start off with shows that have lots of people of color and stuff like that to kind of get that viewership up, and then sometimes they kind of like abandon ship and just
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I don't remember the details as well as you.
yeah,
The
yeah.
thing that sticks out in my mind is whoever they casted as his son looked a lot like him.
hmm hmm
That's what sticks out in my mind.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, Frankie Faison is a hard hitter anyway,
Hmm.
because a lot of people don't know this. Up until Hannibal Rising, and
Hmm.
not to mention, not the TV show or anything like that. So for Manhunter, which is a Michael Mann film, which came out back in the 80s during the Miami Vice days, it was the very first time we saw Hannibal Lecter on screen, played by a totally different actor. But he played Lieutenant Fisk, if I remember correctly. He was a police officer on there. But then after that, in Silence of the Lambs and in Hannibal, the movie was just called Hannibal,
Hmm.
he played Barney. And Barney was the attendant. I don't know if you want to call him a nurse or whatever, who worked in the asylum, and he was one of the few people who got the respect of Hannibal, because
Hmm.
Hannibal Lecter would attack you. If he felt you were rude, he would
Hmm.
attack you. And so I remember the Clarice Starling character asking, "How did you abide him for so long, and remain in this state of peace with him?" And he said, he respected him, and they had a mutual respect, and so he treated him like he was somebody. So it was very, very interesting, because I mean, for you to be the one character, because Jodie Foster did one movie,
Hmm.
and like this, some people did one movie and they moved on. He was in three of the movies right
Yeah.
off the bat. So that's just a little bit about Frankie Faison. He's been in a whole lot of other things too.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I've got a tidbit for you.
Yeah.
Did the mom, the mother, not the girlfriend later on, did the mom look familiar, and did the daughter look familiar? And have you ever seen them in something together before?
I couldn't place the daughter. The mom was on the Netflix version of was it She Gotta Have It?
No, 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 no. That was the girlfriend, I think, who was on She's Gotta Have It.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was talking to
Mhm.
somebody about that today. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the
No, the mom
mom.
isn't that Felicia, was that Felicia Rashad's daughter?
No,
I can't think of where I've seen her before then.
you saw her and the daughter playing mother and daughter, because they didn't have any screen time together in Fatherhood, but
Hmm.
you saw them together in Them.
That's right.
She was the wife slash mom, and the
Hmm.
daughter was the daughter. Yep,
Okay.
sure was. As soon as the daughter showed up, I'm like, wow, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I was looking at them, I was like, why do these two look so
hmm
familiar?
hmm
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you something else that was really interesting, and this is a small thing, but it's as big as it is small seeming. All the characters in the movie were brown skinned and darker.
Hmm.
That's an that's a, it seems like a small thing, but that's an awesome thing.
Hmm.
Because, and I'm not knocking people with lighter skin and light eyes
Hmm.
or wavy hair, any of that stuff.
Hmm.
But the people in the movie look like just regular old black people.
Yeah.
I thought that was really neat. I thought that was really, really cool. But it's just a small thing, but it's kind of a big thing. Kind of a big thing. Lil Rel.
You cannot have him in a movie
Lil
and
Rel,
not
man. Oh my
have
god.
any kind of comedy. I don't
But you
think he
know
can
what?
play a serious role.
He was no, he did play a serious role, but it was like a cameo, like a very small cameo.
Oh, what was that in? In what movie
Just
was that
some we
in?
reviewed too. It was some we
What
reviewed.
movie was that where he played the pimp?
Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
he was actually a government operative, but yeah, he was
that's right.
poised to be like a pimp. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give him his credit. He
Hmm.
can play a serious role for 5 minutes
Yeah.
or a whole 5 minutes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that was the other thing about the movie. It was dramatic, but it had its light moments.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
had its light moments.
Yeah. Overall, though, I think Kevin Hart did a really great job,
Awesome job.
a really good job, and a lot of people, you know, comedians, some can come off serious.
Hmm.
I know Mike Epps. He had me. He threw me for a loop when he had a very small role in Jumping the Broom, but it was a serious role. No joke into it. Now, of course, he played a villainous character in the updated version of Sparkle, and he was something else.
Hmm.
He was something else in that. But every now and again, you'll have actors, comedic actors, who will show up and do something that just blows your mind. Robin Williams took folks out when he played like a few not small roles, but he played a few roles where he was villainous or very serious, and
Yeah.
it was like wow. Yeah, like
And
Insomnia.
I love to see that stretch with comedians
Yeah.
because people always assume the only thing
Yeah.
they can do is comedy.
Some that's all they do, and
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that
Nothing
because you
wrong
should
with
be good at what it is
it.
that you do. But like Bill Murray is another one. I
Hmm.
remember back in, I want to say in the 80s, there was a movie called The Red Shoe Diaries, I believe. I never saw it, but I believe he was in it. And I
Hmm.
believe he played a serious role. Nobody knew Bill Murray could play a serious role back then. Of course, flash forward a few years and Lost in Translation, boom, blows him into a whole different stratosphere. Now, Bill Murray is the kind of guy you look at him, and just looking at Bill Murray's face
You smile.
makes me want to snicker at the least because the dude is just funny and like resting. Some people
Yeah.
have a resting bitch face. He has a resting funny face. And it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
But you got to consider this. Comedians are human beings. They
Hmm.
have
A range.
a range because I guarantee when they go down to go talk to the tax man or talk to somebody who took their money or something like that, they're not being funny about it.
Hello.
So they can be serious, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, two things. Two
Yep.
things. Um, if you haven't already, and I know people are like, oh my gosh, I can't stand that table. If you get a chance to watch it, run on over to Red Table Talk and watch the conversation that Kevin Hart and Will Smith had.
Oh, okay. I
That was a
haven't
that
seen
wa- it was a good Father's Day conversation.
maybe you should post that in the group.
I will do that. I'll go ahead and post that in our Facebook group. And also, I think it is still up on Netflix. Kevin Hart's documentary, Don't Fuck This Up.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely worth checking out as well because of course the one thing that I saw on the Red Table Talk preview to the conversation,
Hmm.
people were
Hmm.
like, I ain't gonna take no advice from either one of them that both did this and that and blah blah blah, and it's like, oh, shut up. People love to hate,
Of course.
but a lot of what he said in that conversation
Hmm.
with Will, he talks about his life in the documentary and you know, these are the places I messed up, and this is how I'm rebuilding and trying to
Yeah.
fix my life, and
Yes.
how I've grown and how I'm evolving.
Hmm.
So it's like you get a glimpse into all of that. It's a really good documentary.
Okay.
Definitely worth
Good
checking
stuff.
out.
Good stuff.
Yep.
Cool, cool, cool. So overall,
Hmm.
would you recommend Fatherhood to those who are on the fence? Like, I don't know if I want to see Kevin Hart in a serious role. What do you think?
If you're into drama, if you like something that has a serious tilt to it,
Mhm.
if you want to see a movie with positive black characters.
Mhm.
He's playing the role. He's not playing the typical stereotypical black male. He's not
Mhm.
playing a rah-rah character. There's no degrading of black women,
Nope.
black men.
Nope.
The kid isn't running off and acting wild.
Right.
You don't see the kid with the head. Okay, there's one scene where her head is like this, but he gets it together quickly.
Yeah.
There's no emasculating of anybody. It's You see black folks doing normal things.
Yep. Everybody does.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yes, there's white people in the movie. It's
Yep.
a normal universe.
Yep.
Watch it.
Filled out universe, and that's awesome, and that's
Right.
great because black people are just people too. I mean,
Mhm.
we're here, and we do the same
Exactly.
things. If you cut somebody, no matter what their color, they're gonna bleed red unless there's
Right.
something wrong with them.
Right.
Yeah. So check out Fatherhood. Check out Fatherhood. Yeah, and follow us. Follow us. And Nikay's gonna put up our stuff. You can catch Nikay at wordpress.com.
Yep.
And you can catch me at diamondscale.com. And when Nicole is here, because Nicole is building another brand of her own, so she's here with us sometime. NicoleDeCandice.com. Yeah, she's a mover and a shaker, and all of us are authors. So
Mhm.
you can find us on Amazon. You can find our work. Yeah, yeah, you
Yep.
can find us. We are around, and we love talking about movies with you guys and
Right.
ladies. We love talking about movies with you all. We love talking about black films.
All right.
And
So make
mhm.
sure you check us out on our Facebook group.
Facebook movies
Movies
that
That
move
Move
we.
We on
Just
Facebook,
that simple. Yep,
right? And Movies That Move We, Media That Moves We over on YouTube.
yep, indeed. And of course, if you're watching this,
You
you
found
probably are
us.
watching this through YouTube. So you found us.
Yay.
Like,
Tell a friend.
share, subscribe, please. It may be a small deal to you, but it's a very big deal to us. And make comments. What do you think? Catch us on Clubhouse when we go live and we discuss these movies and allow people to have a say. They can
Mhm.
have they can weigh in on what they think. You can also weigh in, of course, as Nikay mentioned. We have a Facebook group, very good place to weigh in. Long after the conversation is over, actively,
Mhm.
it's active on Facebook, and
Yeah.
and sometimes that thing goes for days, and different links come up, different factoids, and all like that.
Wee hours
Very,
in the morning.
yeah,
Yes.
wee hours in the morning, indeed, indeed. So thank you all for joining us. We've been talking about fatherhood. We will be discussing something else next week,
Mhm.
and there are just so many movies to choose from, and I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. And I love the fact that you all take out your time to join us. So, from Nikay and from me, gracia.
All right. Until next time.
Until next time, take care.
Bye bye.